There's a new season of Cobra Kai. But is it better than the last season? Let's talk about that. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Movie Emporium's TV review of Cobra Kai Season 5 Spoiler-Free Edition. This, of course, premieres on Netflix. So here we are with a, new season of Cobra Kai, less than a year after the fourth season came out. This is, of course, like I said, spoiler-free, so I won't get into the major details until it actually releases. But Season 4 was not what I would call the best season, to be fairly honest. I had a lot of issues with it and its kind of progression and how it just felt kind of the same. So I was hoping Season 5 would be, a little bit different, give it a little bit of juice, I guess you could say. And as we learned from Season 4, Thomas Ian Griffith's Terry Silver character from Karate Kid Part 3 frames John Kreese's character, thanks to Stingray by Paul Walter Hauser's character, and basically he has taken over Cobra Kai. John Kreese is in jail, and Daniel LaRusso, the Ralph Macchio character, has brought Chozen over to America to stop, Terry Silver's character. So in the process of everything, not only is that what the season is about, which is about them stopping, Terry Silver from expanding Cobra Kai, which we've seen from the trailers and stuff like that, but it also deals with, of course, Johnny Lawrence, who's now kind of reignited his father-son relationship with Robbie, and he's going to Mexico to get, of course, Miguel. And it basically leads into kind of like these characters in a different kind of expansion, I guess you could say. They are in different forms. Robbie is now over on the good guy side. Samantha is dealing with, of course, being defeated by Tori, who's dealing with the whole situation that happened at the end of that season with the rigging of the, of course, All Valley tournament. And basically, to not spoil anything, this is just a season that is dealing with like what happens after Terry Silver, who was this kind of crazy bad guy in Karate Kid Part 3, how do they stop him and kind of the effects of that and everything. And that's kind of where I'll leave it with it when it comes to where this season, what this season is, because there is a lot of stuff that would end up being spoilerish, which like I said, I'll talk about in the spoiler review. But just know that it's Chozen, Johnny Lawrence, Daniel LaRusso trying to stop, of course, Terry Silver. Some stuff with Johnny Lawrence and his son Robbie, and of course Miguel, and Samantha dealing with the Tori stuff, and then of course the other kids dealing with back and forth with the Cobra Kai, and of course Miyagi-Do, Eagle Fang, and stuff like that. So I have to thank Netflix for allowing me to see this early, like they did with the last season. So I do thank them for that. But I did definitely go into the season worried. Like I said, it was one of those things where I didn't know if they could do it. I didn't know if they could actually move past paint by numbers book that they've done the last 4 seasons where they end up at the All Valley tournament and stuff like that. I didn't know if they were just going to find something new to progress this series, because I feel like the series has gotten stale, to be fairly honest. I'm tired of the Daniel LaRusso, Johnny Lawrence problems. I'm tired of Miguel and Robbie problems. I'm tired of Tori and Sam problems. It's just everything that happens in this series is just, it's the same thing over and over and over. But I know like last season, a lot of people did like that season because of what it did, but I went into it a little skeptical. So with that said, to kind of my honest review of this season, outside of some like problems that the series continues to have when it comes to characters and what they do, this was an awesome season. To be fairly honest, this was an absolute delight to watch. It was fun. It was entertaining. Yes, it was cheesy. Yes, it's very melodramatic in a lot of places. But this season 5, actually does things differently and actually does it pretty well. There's things and twists that happen in the season that are actually quite potent. There's character development that actually makes the series work. Johnny and Daniel LaRusso get actually character progression in the series, in the season. Thomas Ian Griffith's Terry Silver is actually quite menacing and quite good. He brings in some other characters there and kind of fills in his backstory. And I just think in the end, I think this season did what I was hoping for, where I don't mind when they go back to the well. That's fine. Like, you can have that kind of stuff, bringing characters back and having some rivalries and stuff like that. The thing I want something to progress. I want to make it more fresh, and that's what it did, and actually kind of delivered on that. There are characters that have some really emotional moments in this, and I think it worked. Yuji Okumoto, who of course plays Chozen, really gets an interesting character arc in this season, and I just think what's nice about doing this expansion, kind of progressing the story into a sequel territory, is you get to see like Johnny Lawrence, who was kind of the big bad in the original movie, and Chozen, who was kind of the big bad in this sequel. And of course, Terry Silver, who's the big bad in the third film, kind of like, cross each other's path. It's kind of nice to see this world kind of starting to fulfill, full itself and stuff like that. There are nice moments between Johnny and, of course, Chozen that really kind of fill in just kind of where they are with the history of Daniel LaRusso. And I just really like that. I really like the kind of degrees they're willing to go to in this season. I really feel like they really try to kind of make it more engaging and more endearing, and it really does work. It doesn't mean it's perfect, because there's a lot of weird and crazy, there's even stuff where I feel like it jumps the shark a little bit, but I feel like, the way Daniel LaRusso and his wife progresses, the way Robbie and Miguel progress, the way Sam and Tori progress, it really feels like a much more mature season. There is a lot of cursing in this movie, or in this season, which I think there was in other seasons, but it feels like, I'm surprised this is a TV-14 show when it has a lot of, F words and stuff like that in it. But, it really is a series that really focuses on nostalgia, but I think this is the first season where it actually pushes past the nostalgia, still has the nostalgia moments, but pushes past it and actually tries something new, which I felt was really interesting. Like I said, the Terry Silver and his progression of trying to build this empire of Cobra Kai and how that's revealed and what exactly is going on there, the mystery behind it and everything. The idea of, like we said, John Kreese is of course back in this season, what he's having to do. Like I said, there are some things where it kind of feels a little weird. Once again, I can't get into it with spoiler territory, but I really feel like it does work, and I just feel like a lot of the characters who were forefront and center in the first 4 seasons are taken back a little bit, and they're kind of adjusted a little bit to make them a little more interesting and more intriguing, which I really liked. And then there's some new characters brought in. I don't necessarily think all work, but I think have really interesting dichotomy between the different characters. And like I said, there are things that happen in this season which I felt were really potent, especially when Daniel LaRusso and how his character arc progresses, and how Johnny Lawrence's character progresses with some really interesting commentary. And I do think this is a season that a lot of people will enjoy. They'll find like the series is actually doing something cool and more inventive and stuff like that, while doing some of the fun old tropes and stuff like that. But in the end, to kind of close out this non-spoiler review, I was really surprised and taken aback by how much I was really enjoying it. It felt nice. Maybe I was kind of giving it a little, trying to keep my criticism a little bit more at bay, because there is some stuff I really didn't like about the season. But I think it is a much marked improvement, and it's definitely something that I felt was more fresh and fun and entertaining than what we got in season 4. So I if you love this series, it's not going to change your opinion. You'll still love the 5th season. But if you were kind of waning on the series, if you're like me, where you felt like if they don't do something different, you might fall off, give it another shot. You might enjoy the 5th season like I did. So overall, really enjoyed it. Really had fun with it. Had some interesting, cool moments. If I were to give this a score, which for some reason I give TV shows and episode scores, I'll give this a 9 out of 10. I think there's some problems, like I said, but I think overall it is a marked improvement. I think it definitely works, and it really feels like a fresh show compared to what it has been. So yeah, with that said, that is going to be my take on the spoiler-free version of this new season of Cobra Kai, which is season 5. Once again, premieres on Netflix on, I think, September 9th, if I remember right. But anyways, yeah, that'll do it. Look forward to my spoiler-filled review on September 9th for this new season of Cobra Kai, kind of discussing the plots and all that good stuff. But with that said, thank you so much for watching. Comments below, what do you think of the first 4 seasons? What do you think is going to happen in the 5th season? All that good stuff. If you know what's happening, please don't spoil it. But if you don't know, just kind of what your theories are and all that good stuff. So anyways, thank you so much. And yeah, if you like this channel, awesome. Hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at the top to find what's coming in next. If you like this video, awesome. Hit that like button. And as always, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.